But, I mean, Rutgers took a 14-3 lead in the half.
And but then you look in the third quarter, I mean, Louisville scored 2 touchdowns to come back in a matter of 16 seconds.
Yeah.
And the whole momentum and everything switched. I mean, that game was Rutgers to take.
Yes. No question about it. This was a game that Rutgers owned, dominated, and controlled for the majority of the game. And instead, they choke away the game, including turnovers. You know, I mean, it's a little ridiculous if you think about it. The fact, look, I mean, they give up 14 in the third quarter thanks to the Rutgers quarterback, Gary Nova, throwing 2 interceptions. Both interceptions came with under 4 minutes left. But it was just I mean, they were bad decisions. The interception that puts the game away in the fourth was a bad read by the miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. But, I mean, Rutgers started the game. They had a 68-yard touchdown play, and I believe it was an 85-yard touchdown play. You know, the quarterback had 2 completions for over 140 yards on 2 touchdowns, and then the rest of the first half, he had 11 completions for 14 yards. So, I mean, it's not like Louisville was playing bad defense. They just gave up 2 big plays. But when it was all said and done, this was a game that Rutgers still should have won, and they blew it. I don't know if there's a better way to say it other than they blew the game. So, I mean, now we did talk about this game a little bit yesterday about the fact that we don't think whoever won this game was going to have a chance in their BCS game. And
no, because they're slated to face Florida State. And even though Florida State isn't the number 4 ranked team like everybody thought they'd be, they're still highly ranked, or at least ranked, and one of the better teams in the ACC, if not the best team outside of Clemson. I still don't think Louisville really keeps this game close. I think it's easily, like we were talking about yesterday, you could see a 52-20 ball game.
Yeah. And seriously, this was a game. I mean, I want to the game itself was, I mean, Rutgers' defense looked good. Defense, especially against the run, they looked really, really good. I was very, very shocked that they ended up blowing this game in the second half. I thought it was a game that they pretty much owned. I mean, I do want to give credit to...
and as MTR Graphics said in the chat room, I mean, the kid Wright, the wide receiver from Rutgers, he choked big time. He had a touchdown catch.
Yes, I watched that drop.
He had a terrible drop that would have, hit
him. The ball hit him in stride, in the hands.
And the defender wouldn't have been able to catch him.
No,
he would have been in for the score. I mean, that was just a badly blown reception.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, you cannot drop that pass. Not in that spot anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to give credit to Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback for Louisville. Came in off the bench. He played a hell of a game. 20 of 28, 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Rutgers lost a turnover battle 3-1. They got dominated, and I mean dominated in time of possession. I mean, 42 minutes and 11 seconds to 17 minutes and 49 seconds. So that means Louisville held the ball for almost 3 full quarters in this game. Rutgers had the big plays for touchdowns, and other than that, they could barely move the ball. Only 9 first downs the entire game. So it was just... I don't know how else to say it other than Rutgers blew it. I mean, the Louisville scores with 49 seconds left and 33 seconds left in the third quarter. Rutgers is able to get a field goal to tie the game at 17, and then they throw a late interception that sets up Louisville for the game-winning field goal. I mean, it was... I couldn't believe they blew this game. I was shocked. I was surprised. I was disappointed. I mean, look at the difference. Bridgewater for Louisville, 20 of 28. Gary Nova for Rutgers, 13 of 28. I mean, like, same amount of passes, you complete 7 less. That's a pretty big deal. Like I said, the time of possession to me is your bottom line. 42 minutes to 18, pretty much. So 3 full quarters of possession compared to 1 quarter of possession. That is ridiculous dominance right there. Only 9 first downs total for Rutgers. So credit to Louisville for a big win. Now Louisville will share the Big East title with Rutgers, Syracuse. Excuse me, everybody. With Rutgers, Syracuse, and possibly even Cincinnati. But the BCS bid goes to Louisville with the win last night. And then the way the BCS standings on tie will break on full will break the actual tie amongst all the Big East teams for who has the best who goes where when it comes down to getting a bowl game. I think Rutgers still will end up with a decent game, but it'll be before January, which is sort of the opposite of what you want when it comes down to playing in a bowl game in college football. That's for sure. See, I agree with MTR in the chat room when he says that going to the Big Ten should help. Because that was one of the things I was talking about with my dad last night when we were watching the game, was the fact that this Rutgers team shows they have some potential. We do agree they played a soft schedule this year, but you don't make your schedule. At least Rutgers doesn't make their schedule. So, not their fault that they played a soft schedule. They went out, they go 10-2, and that includes last night's loss to or 9-2.
No, now they're 9-3.
9-3. Sorry,
9-2 going into last night.
9-3, including their loss last night to Louisville. Not bad. I think the wide receivers they have on the outside are freaks, even with that kid dropping the pass. I mean, both kids are 6'4", 6'5". I think one of them 6'6". They're big kids. They look pretty athletic. So I like the wideouts they got. They could use help on the offensive line. They have holes, just like every team you're going to pretty much talk about. But I agree with what MTR is saying by the fact that them going to the Big Ten should help in recruiting. Just simply fact on the TV recognition they're going to get and the
not only the
kind of
TV,
stuff.
but they'll be able to go to places like Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, and get some of these big farm boys to come out and play for them too. It should help them, like you just said, recruiting-wise, because they could tap into areas and markets that they haven't been able to really necessarily get a hold on yet. I like it. I like the move for Rutgers. I think they're going to struggle for a few years in the Big Ten, but I think overall, once they get acclimated to... Because, I mean, listen, as far as a football conference goes, the Big Ten's much better than the Big East. I think we can all agree on that. Playing Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State.
You don't even need to be a college
Penn
football
State
fan to know that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think competition-wise, you may see Rutgers struggle for a couple years, but I think once they start really getting into some of these bigger farm boys to come play some line, they keep some of the skill position talent they got going on the outside, they should be able to put together something nice for Rutgers and hopefully be competitive.